Welcome to the channel. This is Geauxgreddy and welcome to the road to Gran Turismo 7. That's right, folks. It is the final championship series before the release of Gran Turismo 7 on March 4th, 2022. And we're all going at it here at Tokyo Expressway South Inner Loop. We got N300 cars. We have open tuning allowed. Lots of fun action, so stick around. Check it out. All right, folks, the lobby opens up here in slot number 1 and looks like we're in second split, which is about where I need to be because I tell you what, those top split guys are just really fast. They're running like a 23 flat and I'm running like a 23:13 overall race time, so want no part of them. So this is a good lobby for me. So let's hop into qualifying and see how I do there. You are joining me about 3/4 of the way through my first qualifying lap. I had grabbed the slipstream of IRL is a Vinci, and things were going pretty well. I'd pulled up on them, I'd gained some time, and the lap time was looking pretty decent. And as we come into the last corner here, you're going to see what's happening is Zavinci is going to go wide there, get into the wall. I'm going to have to avoid him. That is going to cost me time here in the last corner. It's not going to turn out to be a great lap. So for my next lap, I'm gonna have to go at it alone out front with no slipstream, which I can run a low 214, so I wasn't too worried about that. As you can see, I'm sitting there in second place with a 215 right now. Don't expect that to hold up through the lap. The really fast guys running low 213s. Even I've seen even a 212, a high 212 in a practice lobby, which is just insane. The tune must be perfect, and the driver on top of it. I don't have that sort of speed, so I can run a low 214. I got down into the 213s in practicing in the qualifying, but there's no way in qualifying the race I'm gonna get into the 213. So right now, shooting for a 214 somewhere in there. Come around through the dock section, good traction coming out of there. Gonna break here right at about the 50 board, lay it down the inside. Just want to kind of hold speed through there, get on the gas early. I got on the gas a little bit late there, a little safe there. I don't want to hit the wall coming out the other end because I really needed just a decent lap time to keep me up near the front of the start of the race. Because believe it or not, it is actually pretty hard to pass in these GT40 cars. The suspension is pretty wobbly on them, so it's hard to hold it down the inside of somebody in one of these corners. So you really need to qualify well and put yourself up front and then try to either do some fuel saving or get lucky with them hitting a wall or something like that to get by folks. Otherwise, generally pretty hard to pass folks without really centering it like here in the hairpin or on a corner 2. So come out through the hairpin feeling pretty good about my lap. We'll find out if I've improved my lap times. We come through here at the end of the second sector, and as we cross that right about now, there we go. We are indeed 0.6 quicker than my previous time, which was a 2:15.864. And you remember, I had a pretty poor exit to end that lap. So as long as I can kind of just stay solid through this section, get on the brakes early and get on the gas early to come through here. But I drift the car through there, unable to put down the power. So not a very good exit again on the final exit, heading down this final straight towards the finish line. But it is better. I do know that. And I run a 2:15.206, which was going to be good to start the race in P3. So I will take it. So let's get to the race start. All right, so the first thing you notice, no real big fanfare, just race. Road to GT7 Series Round 1. And excuse me, it's N300 cards, not N400 cars. I remember right, this is an N400 car that you tune down to N300 so you can make it in the race. Anyway, regardless, no big music production beforehand, no FIA representation in the race. Look, no number plates on the cars, just whatever your livery is, that's what you bring to the race. So very interesting. So let's get into the strategy of the race real quick. So it is the sports medium tires, and believe it or not, the GT40 actually handles the sport medium tire pretty well. So you won't need tires, a change of tires throughout the race. They can last all 10 laps. There is a mandatory pit stop, so everyone is required to stop. And during that pit stop, well, if you're in the Ford GT40, you're going to need to add some fuel. So you do want to save some fuel if you can, because it is to your benefit to be able to keep a little extra fuel on board, maybe jump someone during that pit stop. Me, I'm trying for a 7-3 strategy. I want to run 7 laps. I'm aiming for about 14% fuel usage per lap. Then I'm going to hop into the pits, not change my tires, and throw on board about 46% fuel because, as you know, Tokyo has that weird the pit stop is not at the beginning or the start-finish line of the lap. It's before it, so, or 3/4 of the way through the lap. So you're going to need a little more fuel than what you think is left in terms of numbers of laps. So when I go in there with 7 laps, I want 14% per lap plus a little bit more. So I'm going to put in 46% when I head in the pit stop. So that is the strategy of the race. And look at this. We got someone who's not in the OP car. He's in a Silvia K. Awesome. Love it. I have seen some trucks in some of the other races. That's a lot of fun. Anyway, let's get to the start of the race. All right, we get the start. We're heading down the main straight. And more than anything else, you want to stay in that slipstream at the start. You do not want to lose it. It's right there, upper left-hand corner, 0.75. You can see I'm already starting outside of the slipstream. I don't know if it was because of my gearing or what, but fortunately I was able to get a good turn 1, come out of there, back in the slipstream of Geauxgreddy as we head down the straight towards turn 2 and the docks section. Piranha V Superstar getting passed by Geauxgreddy. Must have had a poor exit, must have gotten the wall or something like that. Not really sure. Get on the brakes right there before the 150 board. Just trying to not kill anyone here as the car is heavy, the tires are cold, and behind me, Big Pond Skater able not to murder me as Hands 5-0 slips underneath the inside. It looks like maybe a little bit of contact behind me, which is great because that allows me to break the slipstream as they're banging into each other heading through the dock section. So now here all I want to do is brake early, get to the inside so I can get back on the gas in enough time to be able to exit the corner, stay within the slipstream of Piranha V Superstar. Now I don't know if my gearing is a little bit higher than theirs or not, but it feels like they have just a little bit more acceleration coming out of the corner. Could be where they're getting on the gas, could be how they're taking the corner. Not really sure, but Piranha V looking like he wants to put it side by side here in the tunnel. But he thinks better of it, makes the smart life choice and pulls out. Gets behind Geauxgreddy as we head towards the hairpin. Again, getting on the brakes there between the 150 and 200 board. Just want to not overshoot that corner. Don't want to go too deep there. But of course, you don't want to brake too early either. It helps the guy behind you catch up to you as you head in towards this uphill section and then the S's. But we have got a nice little gap to P4 right now as Hand 5-0 there, 1.3 seconds behind heading into the S's. I'm keeping it in 4th gear right here, and I'm keeping it in 4th gear so that I can save a little bit of fuel. And I found that I'm able to hold that 100-mile-an-hour range. If Piranha V gets a little bit of the wall and I get a little bit wide heading through that final corner, it's going to allow me to get a little bit of a run on me heading out, but I'm still within the slip, so I'm revving it out a little bit just to stay in the slip. Didn't really want to. I want to be short shifted and saving fuel because I'm hoping to jump these two guys during the pit stop. Going to get on the brakes there, about the 75 board. Got in a little bit late. Had to overslow the car, rotate it a little bit so I could make the corner. And again, flirting with losing the slipstream here on lap 2 on the downhill section, heading towards the docks once again. Hoping something happens between these two so I can get back in. And my wish comes true. Piranha V heads down the inside. He wants to be in P1. He wants to lead the race, and he is going to send it. So he does send it, and that disrupts their line just enough that I can get back into the toe of Geauxgreddy as we come out of the dock. So perfect. So well done there by Piranha V Superstar to keep me in the race and up towards the front. Behind me, we have extended the gap to P4, who's Big Pond Skater, by 2.2 seconds. Now, it's early in the race. I don't want Big Pond Skater to catch me. So I'm giving a little bump draft here to Geauxgreddy, hoping he can stay, in that suck zone of Piranha V Superstar, because it looks like he's losing touch with him here. So I don't want to force anything right here and possibly lose that slipstream that we're both going to need as the race goes on. Piranha V setting a 2:13 in qualifying, so I knew he was really quick and would be a struggle to keep up with him. If you make one little mistake anywhere, it's so easy to lose the slipstream because these cars just don't accelerate that fast. So any rubbing of the wall, anything like that, is going to be detrimental. So let's fast forward a little bit here and see how it looks a little further along in the race. Fast forwarding quite a bit here on to lap number 6. You can see I'm still well on the tail of Geauxgreddy. All up his derriere. Oh my goodness. Behind us, 2.7 seconds to P4. I have put a little bit of space between him and us, but not much. You can see right there, I have 1.3 laps of fuel remaining, 18%. About right where I want to be. This is exactly what I needed. Now, I just sat behind here in Geauxgreddy, short shifted when I could, lifted early in the braking zones when I could. As you can see, Big Pond Skater heading in with 15% fuel, so he's already 3% down on where I was when I passed the pits. So I know I've got a little more fuel than Big Pond Skater and a 2.7 second gap, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. I know that P4 is not going to make a run on us. Now, Hand 5.0 is 7.27 seconds back, so I feel good about that too. I don't think he's going to make a run at us, so all I need to do now is just stay here on the tail end of Geauxgreddy, try and get into the pit stop and see if I can't out fuel save him and maybe make a jump in the pits. All right, fast forward again a little bit here on lap number 7. We're in the tunnels and I am again just trying to stay on the tailpipe of the guy in front of me, trying to save that fuel, hoping that maybe if he didn't save too much fuel, might be able to get that pass done in the pit, avoid having to do it on the track, or who knows what might happen. A little door-to-door incident may occur, whatever. So we head in there. I am all over his rear end. We go into the pits. And my game plan has worked out so far. I got a little bit of fuel left, more than most people. And we're going to bring it up to 46%. I go about 1% over it, but not bad. Come out with 48%. Piranha V goes up to 52%. So we actually make up some time on Piranha V. And I sure as well did it. I beat Geauxgreddy in the pit stop. Now the question is, can I pull a gap on him? But before that, look at there. Look at Zero Duck leading the race. Whack. Good job there, Duck. Proud of you, man. So Duck, pretty quick in these GT40 cars. In fact, he whooped me the first couple practice races we had. So, man, he is really doing a good job saving fuel out there. We'll see how that works out for him at the end. But for now, I'm just trying to put distance between me and Geauxgreddy, because right now he is in my slipstream within 4/10. And if I can get lucky here, I might be able to run down Piranha V, move into P2. But right now we're sitting on the podium in P3. And I would love to start this season with the podium. It feels like it's been a while since I have stood on the podium in a championship race. So it would be really nice to start this season off doing just that. So as we come around turn 1, Geauxgreddy is still within the slipstream. He's within 4/10 as we head down towards the docks. Docks are a tricky little corner here. You got to get on the brakes right there before the 150, and if you go in too high, you can go out wide into the marbles. You can see them there on the left. And man, if you do, it just really slows you down. Now, you want to feather the throttle just enough so you can get on full throttle as you come down through that apex and try not to hit this wall on the exit. A really difficult set of corners to get right, but once you get it right, it's really a nice set of corners when you nail it. Here, man, you want to get closer to the wall than I did right there, and you want to come out that corner in the 90s, like 90, 91, 92. So not the best job there by old Gresser, but I got a little bit of tire wear, a little bit of weight on board, so not terrible. But the beautiful thing is, if you look there in the time difference between me and Geauxgreddy, we're at 0.83 seconds. So I did break the slipstream coming out of that right-hander down towards this long section before the hairpin. The question is, can I keep it up? Can I maintain that gap coming out of the hairpin? Get on the brakes there at that shadow right around the 175 mark or so. Get on the gas, and he has made up a little bit of time. He dropped 2/10 on me coming down through the hairpin, so he did a better job in there than me. So I still have my work cut out for me here on lap 8, heading towards lap 9 as we pass the pit area there. And Zero Duck did go into the pits and came out in P6, right in front of PX Cam 20. And I'm just trying to hang on here now to P2. 2.6 seconds to Piranha V Superstar in P1 as we come out of the final corner heading towards the start-finish line. I pull the gap that I need. I'm now a second gap. So fast forward here on to lap 10. As you can see, I extended that gap to 1.5 seconds. Piranha V extending his gap to me by another 2 seconds. So I did have one little mistake there. Did graze the wall back on lap 9. So looking behind me, no big deal. I didn't want to take that corner too hot, make anything crazy happen through there. I just need a nice, relaxed last section of the track to pull home this P2. I've got 0.2 laps remaining, 2% fuel in the tank. It's about what I wanted in the tank coming down through the section. But I got to tell you what, it makes you really nervous when that light is flashing and you look down there, you got 1% fuel left, 0.1 laps remaining as you're coming down through the final corner, knowing you got the straight left. But you just got to trust what you did in the practice races. So I did. I kept her floored, put her into fourth. I did shift a little bit early because I was a tiny bit nervous there. But we crossed the line with 0% fuel left. P2, take a podium in the last challenge here, the Road to GT7 Series. Race 1 for 249 points. I will put it in the bank. Hope you enjoyed the race. Hope you enjoyed the action. If you did, hit the like and or subscribe. Come back, check out some more. For myself, Geauxgreddy, y'all have a great evening. DJ Clean, take us out of here.